channel. My bad. In the past week and a half, I haven't recorded anything. Just I'm out of the office right now, so it's a little harder for me to just like record. Have my laptop over there, have the whole setup and everything. But well, excuse here. Well, today what I want to do is I want to do a little code refactoring, a little cleanup and renaming. Also, I want to create the register screen. So it's gonna be something just like this, or maybe you already did it if you're following everything, because it's just something like this, but we're just going to add another property. So in that way, maybe today I'll start integrating Firebase, or I'll do it in the next video, and I'll make sure that I'll do it in the next couple of days. But today, just let me do a little code refactoring and start getting things prepared. So that way we could integrate Firebase and we could register our account and all that. By the way, if you don't have a Gmail account, start creating one since now because for Firebase you need it. Because Firebase is part of Google and you need a Gmail account. So if you don't have one, use it, or if you want to have a different one, create a different one just for all your developer stuff. That way you don't get a lot of things messed up. Like when I say mixed up, it's just like getting Firebase email into your personal email and things like that, blah blah blah. I like to have a different one, just to have a separate. I have everything separate from my personal stuff. So yeah, let's get started. Like if we run the app, this is what we get. Right, something that I wanna do. Okay, here instead of saying in the username, this gonna I'm gonna be let me rename this refactor rename to I'm gonna say email text field because it's an email and enter email here. Then okay, so what I did here, if you missed it, create the refactor, rename, and then I just add a change username to email. So that's one of the first thing I'm going to do. So here in the login controller, let me create another yeah, yeah, let me get a Swift. I'm gonna call sign up view controller, right? So to make it easier, if I was you, what I would do, I would write all this down. But for me to make the video shorter, what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this because this is what we need. But we're just gonna add another properties. Then here be like sign up view controller. Okay, and then maybe you don't. Maybe you think here I'm gonna add username. I'm gonna say name text field. Will you either use username or name? Remember, this is in the sign up controller. So enter your name. Username or your name, up to you, right? But okay, and then now we have to add this to the stack, name, password, login, blah blah blah. Oh, we have name, but we'll have email, which here we should be having blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little trick because they all you see like this has had 50, everything is 50. So we're going to integrate here a for loop. We're gonna call it we're not going to call it, my bad. It is a for each loop. Later on we're gonna be working more with loops, or maybe you already know how about like or you heard of for loop, for each, and all that. So basically, because like now for email, like I should be doing something like this, like email text field, blah blah blah, and then I gotta copy this, right? Well, I gotta write or whatever, copy, and then boom, this could work, no problem. Maybe like if I run this, probably works. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay, here I gotta go to the login screen and add that. So login, blah blah blah. Still gotta do a little bit more. Sign up, or the sign up button, then the replay button, the add target, right? So selector, handle, sign up. I like to use like handle, but like for the function to you can have an idea what's going on, or you could just be like sign up or go to sign up, whatever you wanna name it. Up to you. But here, but I remember add Objective C. Funny thing, before when I started programming in Swift, you didn't have to do this. Like you didn't have to add Objective C, but then I think after Swift 3 or 4, I think after Swift 4, they implemented that. Objective C, if you don't know what it is, it's another programming language for well, it's the like first programming language that developer and Apple used to use to build applications for iPhones and for Mac computers and anything that had to do with Apple. Is the programming language that Apple used to use, but then Apple decided to go and create their own programming language, and then that's when they came up with Swift, which it has been great because Objective C is a little bit like weird the code. I mean, I do it. I have to do like in my company that I work for, like I would say 70 to 80% of the code is in Objective C. So, and then I try to every time I have to create a new feature, I write it in Swift. That way we could just keep replacing things or just keep adding more Swift stuff. But anyways, so here I'll be like navigation controller, the push view controller, right? Then we here sign up. So here, basically, I was saying like, hey, then to the navigation stack, right? The navigation controller, push this view controller. So whenever we click here, this is gonna push, boom. See, you see how like a view presents from one side to the other. Give me, oh, because this is not inside navigation. You see, this is good because this is not inside a navigation view. So that's why it doesn't do anything. So we have to go to extend delegate, right? And then this has to be. So if you run into any issue like that in the future that you don't, just remember that maybe you're not inside a navigation stack. You are. So you need to be inside a navigation view controller in order to do that. So let's see now. Now it's going to work, but it's going to show, right? You see, boom, bah. You see, 80% this right here. So you could be like black. Like when you click that, it's called a pop, like a pop view controller. You could also create a custom one, but too much for that. So we have this our name, email, and password, right? And then we don't need to do this. So they can sign up, and we have to rename this. That's the only thing about copy and paste that you see, like so instead of like sign in, we say like um sign up. This one we could delete it because we don't need it. And then where's here sign up button? Boom, boom. Where are you? Right here, right? So we should be all set. Let me build. Okay, let me go to the for each now, right? So we could do this. Like this means an array, right? Whatever's gonna be here inside of this bracket, like whatever's here is an array of things. They have to be the same. Then we put like for each, right? Boom. I could be like, I do this. Or I could just do it like this. If I want to do the one line of code, watch how cool. Let me take this copy, right? So it knows now this is going to be an array of text field, right? So I'll be like, say here, and then I'll be like, because you see they all have the heights for, right? So it'll be like, then cache 0, the height anchor, the constraint equal to constant 50, though is active equal to truth, right? So now what I have to do, I have to copy every single one of these, and I'll give you a little bit more explanation now, right? I don't know if you think this is cool or not. It's a good thing to learn because sometimes you have to repeat a lot of code and different things, and you don't want to like have so many lines. Even though Dynamics could do this, or even you could be like, and you could do other stuff. You could be like this, that, right? Like money sign, those 0, and then you see here you get other properties for them. So if they have like the same thing, you could do it. So basically, what this is saying right here, saying like for each, right? Because this is a for each loop. Like for each one of this, I want you. Hold on, let me before. Yeah, let me do this. Right. So basically, what I'm saying here, for each one of these fields, I want to add the height anchor. I want to set the height anchor to equal to constant 50. So basically what we're doing right here is exactly, right? One line by one, but we just decided to use an array of text fields, and then we just set the height anchor to that. Let's say something like if we wanted to change the color for all of them, like, hey, or whatever you want to add to all of them, you would like money sign, which is mean like the first item in the array. You can say like background color equal the red, right? And the ocean, I could delete this. Hopefully, I hope you already understand, so we don't need that. So you're gonna see that for each of them, right? Because it's for each loop. So for each item here, I want to set that background to red. So this is inside that sign up controller. So you see, bam, 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 boom. And you could do a bunch of other stuff, just like when you're here, you could change the font over there and all that, but that's already declared here. But in case you wanted to like if you see a lot of these codes very repetitive and you want to just put everything like for each loop, you could just create let's say another function, and you could do something like this for each whatever text field, and then you'd be like, hey, here you say like whatever, right? Instead of doing that, you could be like the fonts, right, equal to UI font or fonts, yeah, fonts, whatever. What is the UI font? The system, blah blah blah, and then you could change like the font size, the border, and things that are very similar. If you want to do that, you want to play around, do it. You could still even do it right here, but to be because this is a constraint function, I'll probably create another function like right here or on the bottom, whatever you want, and like right here, or and I just call it like set up properties, or whatever. If you want to play around with the for each loop, that'll be cool and see what you do. So I think the sign up controller, let me make sure. I want to make sure that everything is clean and getting ready. Okay, the sign up, sign in, log in. Okay, blah blah blah. Enter name, email, password. Boom, boom, boom. Here too, you could probably you play around if you want a navigation. You could play around, or if you want to design, and yeah, there's a lot of pages website there with designs ideas. So. But okay, I think this is good. Login's good. Register's good, right? Ba ba ba. So I'm just making it simple so you know like the behavior and things like that. Now what I want to do, let me go to Syndet again. And I want to comment this code right here. And I'll comment this one because I want to be able to see something like, okay, we have all this now, right? So now what I have in mind, this contact view, I'm going to call it search because later on I'm gonna call it search view controller because later on I want to add like a search bar so we could search for contacts, and instead of contacts we're gonna call it users. So let's start making this more like I don't know because when I added contacts, I was just like I didn't know what I was going with the app, and still I just keep adding things. But I want to call it users now because I want to kind of start adding like register a user. A user has a profile and all that good stuff. So now this is good. We're gonna be able to fill that up, and yeah. So let's start by okay. This is the profile controller. He's Gucci. Okay, let's go. Sign up is good and login is good. Here's the contact. Right again, come here, select, right click, refactor. Let's call it instead of search, instead of contact, we're gonna call it search view controller. And always remember when you're naming a class, always remember the first letter should be capital because it's a class. If it is a property, it's different. Like like here it says contact view controller, but here like it's lower C, but because it's a class, this would be is it different? Like when you have a class, always you start with a capital letter. Like look at me like as a search, right? And then view with a capital V controller. So I know the difference and I know it's a class. It's a good pattern to have because you're never gonna see professionally like somebody like I'm saying like search like that, like capital small C. Like always a class start with a capital letter. So yeah, let's change it there. Search view controller. Then this, right? This contact right here, you see contact, right? This is a class, right? An object is capital C, but we're gonna rename this small contacts, rename, and I'm gonna call it users. I'm gonna be users, right? Because it's user. And then we're gonna, okay, and then we're gonna go here, right click, jump to definition, and instead of contacts, we're gonna rename it also. So you see, it's kind of like, this is the good thing about this, right? That it picks everywhere. That's why I like to do it like that because I could just delete it and like can you do something like that? You be like, yeah, why don't you just do like user and that's it? Because now, like, if you try to run, you're gonna get a problem everywhere. Like, you see 12 problems screaming because they cannot find scope that. But because, right, when I do this, what happened? When I do the, okay, it's good, bit done, right? Refactor, it looks in the code, like Xcode is smart enough to look everywhere in the code to see that, hey, where is he? Does he have these contacts? Okay, let's rename it. So user, you see, boom, it renames it everywhere. Then bang, boom, chakalaka. So here we got users. And let me see because I want to see where we have contacts. Okay, we have where we have contacts. Okay, right here, the guy. There's a user here. Fetch contacts. Yeah, let me put it, rename this. Let me see, even like right here, I mean, I could do this right here if I want, like, and because I know the other one's right here, I could just be like, boom, and that's it. I don't get any error, any problem. Put the user here, just in case. I don't need this anyways. I'm gonna delete that. Boom. So if I click here again, contacts, no contact, and without a C, oof, I get a bunch of contacts. Oh yeah. I like to have things like that, and then okay, oh yeah, contact cell. Here I could rename this to user cell. That's why I little code refactoring. Here, let me see, have all that contact. I'm gonna name it user. You see, as a bar is a property and there's a object. So if I came again, okay, do I need this? No. So let me delete it. Trying to delete things I don't have. Boom, this one. Okay, you see, this is contact BC. Okay, let me go to profile view controller. And because I got a, okay, see here, and then to user. I mean, he was showing it here too. You see it right there. So Okay, what's contact? So it's user, one user. Gotta make sure one you're using plural and one not. It's good. You see contact here, you see header contact. So let me go to my profile header cell and rename this, which is what's here too. Yeah, profile header right there. See? Yeah, it's a contact, so it's a user. So now if I click here again, this won't be here. See, boom, I only get on the main tab bar, this contact, right? So I'm gonna go here. Here I'm gonna be like search because it's not a contact, it's search, right? And then here we're gonna call this search view controller because it's part of search view controller. See here because it's a property, small c, lowercase c, and then let's see. Well, we don't have contact nowhere. If we run an app, we should have no problem. Just start renaming. So that title right here, search, is this one right here, search. And then, blah, blah, blah. Look, yeah, I think probably have a magnifier. Whatever. I know there's probably like, you could add those icons and just don't want to add them. So what did I say we're gonna do? Rename this, right? We already did it. Let me take it. Let me just, let me rerun the app and take a nice look around and see. Okay, we have this, which instead of Swift, we call like home or like, I don't know, YouTube tutorial, whatever that's in the feed. Says Swift, it could be like home or whatever. Let's call it YouTube. I hope you play around with the header and you made it look nicer than what it is, and just giving you the templates of things so you could like mess around with them. You know, we could also add like a add just the recognizer. So when you click here, it'll send you to the profile page. Let me do that. I'm on the feed. Where should it be? Users there. Let me look what part is it. Okay, each cell, feed cell, right? Yeah, has an avatar image. So if we haven't done it, let's do one. IT add gesture recognizer, and then you add tap gesture recognizer and target, or which is self, and action is you already know selector, and the show profile. And hold on, yeah. Let me leave this blank, yeah, or like that, doesn't matter. Let me show you something too that you're probably gonna see a lot. Make this function private func, and then we're like, and the show profile, and then you be like, let's call it tab, right? Of UI tab recognizer. So now, right, when you tap like handle tab, you see handle show. Oh, you see handle show tab. You're probably gonna see sometime that like that. What's wrong with it? Why is screaming so much? Let me see. Where's the problem? Oh, I forgot. I know. So yeah, you see, it has to add the objective C. That's why I was screaming. So here, right? Check this out. We could do blue, blue, blue. Yeah, let's do it here. Then we could do some better ways how to handle it. But this way, be like, oh, I don't think, yeah, I think this is gonna work. So we're gonna, yeah. So in top here, let me. I didn't have in mind doing this, but F that. So I'm gonna be like protocol, which gonna be. So you know what? Now every time we're using the like the UI collection view delegate and blah 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 delegate and all that stuff. So basically what we're doing is called protocol or delegation. And we're gonna create a function now that's gonna call, it's gonna be like func handle show user. Show user, show profile. I don't know whatever we want to name it, profile. And then that takes a user, right? Of type of user. So basically we creating this protocol, which is super helpful. I mean, if you learn how to use it, you should. Super helpful because you could declare a bunch of functions that you could use outside of this cell. So basically now here in this cell, let's call it right here, we could be like, watch, like bar delegate the of type, right? Fee cell delegate, and it's optional, right? It's an optional because it could be empty. And check this out now. Inside of here, whenever we call it delegate, right? The show profile for user, and then we have a user here, right? Okay, how? This is the cell. I'm a little wrong. Okay, all this is hard coded. The image is hard coded. Oh God, I thought I had something. I mean, it's not wrong. I just like, I'm gonna have to change something in this video. Okay, let me see. Go to the feed controller, and I'm going to create. Okay, now let me go see if I can make a copy something. I don't wanna have to do this. Yeah, let me just copy all this instead of I'm copy the stories. Hopefully this story I could change. I could turn them into. Yeah, let me do it here and yeah, here. If I maybe like oh I thought I did this. Hopefully I will. Maybe you guys did. Bar users equal rate of user. You guys already know this. I'm declaring a rate of users to this. Then I'm gonna user.count. You guys already doing this. I'm trying to do it fast so the video doesn't go too crazy. And then in fee cell, we're gonna be like bar user, thumb of user. I mean, you see, most of the time we do it like that, but let's do it like this with a bank sign. This means that it's not optional. That if it's not empty, if it's any of these fee cells empty, it'll break. So we could be like avatar image. Watch image equal to oh you want image name, and then I hit the right user the avatar image. Oh yeah, I forgot. We gotta do this anyways. Let image equal blah. I forgot sometime. Boom. And then we could be like username dot text equal username dot name. See here, you don't have to do if because if you check this text, right? This takes an optional string, so that's why you don't gotta do that for this. Like, even if you do it, it's fine, but it won't let allow you. Like it won't be like going crazy. But then, yeah, we're gonna have to do the same thing for feed image. So let's call this feed. Oh, let's call it thumbnail after. Okay, oof. Let me leave an avatar image, but the thing is that what it is. So basically, what we're doing this user, right? We could just pass it in here. Boom. This shouldn't yell at me. Let me, yeah, this won't yell at me now. Let me try to do it this fast, and then I'll be like user, right? And then I'll be like, I'm doing like this. You should create your own users. I'm just trying to be like, hey, make this fast. So I know it's gonna be a few items here. Problem. What is it? User avatar image. So I'm gonna replace all this avatar image, all this image for avatar image, and then bond that has a name. Like I said, you should write all this manually. I'm trying to do it fast, but so you don't create no bugs for yourself because it'll suck very bad if you do, man. Let me go to a user. Okay, could delete this one. Okay, instead of this, right? You see, I don't have to fix it, but I kind of know what I'm doing. If you know what you're doing, you could just then do it. If you want to try this, don't blame it on me if you create any bugs. Plus, you need a practice. I'm just doing this for the sake of the video and saving you time. I need to add a thumbnail, which we're going to add it to. Oh, ah, I know I'm gonna do this like this, but yeah, I just remember one thing that this shouldn't be a user. This should be a post, and post should have a list of user. Oh no, a list of user, no, a user, which is the owner. But so the user equal then like users, which is path. You see, item. Okay, let's see what we get. I know we won't get a post. I mean, that image is gonna look like the avatar. Yeah, I know that, right? You know why I'm doing that? Because right here I said, right, that thumbnail, I set it to the user avatar to this. Because, oh my God, let me do it because I know I don't want to keep driving you guys crazy. And yeah, you know what? Oh, it is written a post. Oh, my bad, man. This was, we just never put it into place. So go back. Well, practice for you. This should be a post. I might just rename this to post and then watch now. Like this is how it should be because everything in the feed, right? Everything in the feed, those are not users, those are posts, and then we're like posts, right? And then I'm like, if I do this, let's see how I messed up at. But let me just do this because I want to see. Okay, it has an avatar. Oh, see, the other one was closer. Oh, it has an avatar, then it has a thumbnail instead of story, thumbnail. You know what? Okay, well, I know what I'm gonna do. If that, boom, my bad, but you see, I came in just to do refactor and things like that, and yeah, I ended up taking longer than I wanted to. Okay, but it's okay, guys. It's okay. It's all worth it. More practice for you. That's it. The day I'm just like whatever. I'm not trying to. Oh yeah, the likes shoe. Yeah, we mess around with the likes because I wanna. I'm doing all it like this because once we integrate Firebase, some of this thing will going to change, right? Sometimes exactly when you know 100% where you're planning to go with something, you're probably like, okay, I have an idea of this and that, but I mean, you could still find in like Stack Overflow dates and things like that, or if you want to add a number here, you could like hit diva, and if you want to implement it at the bottom and all that, it's all cool too, even better. So let me go to the fee cell, right? Okay, we don't need this. Boom, boom, boom. We don't need this either because now, okay, I'll show you something. Then this for this, I want that. This is what I want. I'm gonna show you in a bit what the whole thing is gangsta, bro. It's gangsta. So at least you're gonna know now how to use object within objects. So I hope you understanding all this. Like, I hope you do. Let's say pose. Oh, instead of a user, we can say pose. And because it's a pose, right? How to pose, yeah. So instead of fee cell, we're going to change this to pose. Then here, pose, right? And then you could be here, right? Here you gotta do this. Watch pose the user, the avatar image. Watch. Why pose doesn't have a user? Let me give you real quick. Property that it has, username, blah blah blah, and doesn't even need a username because pose does need a user. Let me rename this. Okay, it's gonna create some trouble, but it's fine. Post needs a user, which is a type of. Okay, it's a type of user. So you see, post doesn't need this either. More things to fix. Yeah. Okay, okay. Let me go to it's my contact or search. In search, I'm going to copy one of these and watch what happens. Oh, this is going to make more sense to you in a bit. The user equal that, right? So each user should have, you see? So basically what we're doing here, we're passing in a user. Why am I removing, like, think about data structure, right? Because when I did this, I don't know if I had something different in mind, but like I said since the beginning, like I've been changing my mind on how to do this, and I'm trying to just go with the not go with the flow, or I could say yeah, go with the flow. But then I'm like, okay, I should do this, I should do that, like things that I think that are very simple at the beginning to learn, and then you see this is what it sucks about copy and pasting. Maybe if it was writing this, it was like much faster, but what's done is done. You see, but how many times have you seen me like doing a bunch of different things here, like in this same area? Because I had one perspective, and then I thought about, okay, yeah, but we don't need that if we would add this. Like we don't need a username and an avatar image if we have a user, because we could get all those from the user class. Yeah, mira, bacano, and user have stories. So let me just go grab these stories as well. Might as well. But I'm planning to do nothing with the stories now. But I'm gonna keep adding more and more things. But it's good because maybe later. Right? So now we could go to okay, blah blah blah. Let me see if I try to run this. It should give me some errors, yeah. I'm expecting some errors. Okay, now especially this one now the user, right? The avatar image. You see? So basically if we go on pose, right? Now we're gonna pose. We have a pose. Pose has a user, of course, because it needs to know who posted it, right? So it has a user, and if inside this user you could have access to all this stuff like the avatar, the stories, and blah blah blah. Oh, and then here we do the same. Then we're gonna, instead of thumbnail, you're gonna use here post. I thought you get my thumbnail image. And if you go, then I could be here doing here I could do post the username. Boom. Oh, I think it's username. Oh, there you go. Oh, what's missing? Yeah, it's optional. So let's see what happens if we run this now. Okay, we still got two problems. What's oh, delegate user, because I'm supposed to do post the user, and oh, let's make this optional that it could be nil, right? Boom, you see. Let me see why some funny thing. Oh, some black. Yeah, there you go. That's why. So yeah, I messed some. Maybe you guys figure it out. Let me give it a boom. Let me. Yeah, so what I'm doing here, like with Command A, you select everything, and if you do Control I, it refactor everything like as if I have things like this, and I go like bang, and then Command boom. Then when you go back, it's like it formats everything, so it looks good. Remember, Command A to select everything, and then Control I to format everything. So where were we? Okay, now we should have all the images. Okay, so in here. You see, there you go now. So let's go all the way to the bottom and let's create here extension. See, this new function of view controller, right? Then it's called fee delegate. So basically, this extension of fee view controller is an extension of this controller, right? Or this, and then we just add in the fee cell delegate, so we get that, right? So let's run print user. So you say, oh, this function, right? This function is this function that we created right here. You see? That's why. And then this is the fee cell protocol that we're using. So when we make this function a subclass, when we make that fee cell delegate a subclass of the extension, we have access to this fee view controller. Let's see if it will print anything. I know it won't, it shouldn't, but I wanna show you that. Like when we tap here, it doesn't do anything. Let's put a, oh yeah, let's put a breakpoint here. I didn't test this. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here. When you tap here, I want to see something. You see, it doesn't do anything because, right? Where's the avatar image? Also, the avatar image needs this IP dot is user or user in enable equal truth. And I think that will let us call the breakpoint. Doesn't do anything. Ooh, weird, right? Okay, what if we do then this lazy bar? There you go. Boom, it calls that, but it's not gonna print. It shouldn't print. But you see, now whenever you tap on every cell, it should be different, right? So before anything, let me go here. What's the user? Oh, we just added one user, right? Let me just, for the record, let me put like this for you. So username like Jalen, Shander, and Iron Man. right? So if I put here, yeah, just put whatever, let's put random here and then here. So now if we go to, yeah, we don't need to go to post, we don't need user, feed, do we have the feed? Yeah, here, let's print the username, the user, name or whatever it is. Let's run it. Like if you do Command R, it runs the application without you having to touch here. So here, what do we get? Oh yeah, let me remove the breakpoints. We don't get nothing there. What's the? Oh yeah. I remember. Remember I said this won't run because here always remember to do self.delegate equals self. So basically what this is saying, hey, this delegate function, I wanted to have access to any property that you have over there. So make me responsible for it. So now we should get that when we tap, right? Boom, Jalen. You're gonna see a lot of Jalen, right? But then we say we left from Jalen, you see gender because we made random and then boom, Jalen, Iron Man, and then if I go down, the next one thing is Jalen, yeah, whatever. So now what we do, we just here, right? Remember that we added this Remember the reason we added this IB just a recognizer. Remember to add lazy bar and is user interaction enable. Yes, equal truth. Remember why we use this, right? We did this. So we created this function and we created this delegate function to help us. My bad. Whenever we click here, we want to go to the profile page. So excuse me, we created this function handle show profile. So now we could just be like navigation controller, the push view controller, and then I'm gonna be like let profile VC view controller equal profile view controller, and then it's type of it's a collection view, right? So by collection view flow layout, boom, boom chakalaka, and then we like profile VC the user equal to this user right here. Let me run this user. An optional? No, it's not an optional. So let's do this. Gar let user equal to user. Mouse return. So if you don't remember this gar, what it's doing, let me put this in place. So I'll explain to you right now. Truth. So basically what I'm doing here, right? First of all, I'm creating a property. This property view controller. Let me just even do it like this. I want to do it like this. Sometimes I could be very anal. So basically, whenever we tap on this, we want to make sure, hey, user, is this a user? It's not nil. If it's nil, like if it's empty, it's nothing there, return, just do nothing. But if there's a user, say this user, right, which is this user, to that user, which is a little confusing. Let me put like let me call it phone. Put a current, no, let me put post user. Yeah, let me call it like that instead, so you know. So basically from post, right, we're getting this user, and then if that user says, I want to create this property profile view controller, view controller, then what we're doing here, profile VC, the user equal to this. So the user, right, this user right here, we're setting up to this. So whatever user is in here is what we're going to pass over there. And then here we just say, hey, navigation push view controller, and this. Because if you try it inside of here, right, like because it's a cell, it doesn't have a navigation, so you won't be able to push, right? So you probably breaking your head like, how can I push from a cell and blah 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 from a view, or it could be a table view cell, any cells, or like a view, not view controller view that you won't be able to push because you don't have access to navigation controller, right? Like it could be this and then push, you see, but it won't happen. It will break because this is not part of a view controller. So now, when we run, let's see what happens. I hope you understood. If you have questions, leave it in the comments. Remember to subscribe and yeah, share it. So whenever you come here, you see boom, and then you could go back to your feed. Then I think the third one we made is Shender. Yeah, Shender. You see, boom, boom. So in all this information, I think the why this it says Jalen. I don't know. I don't remember. Let me see if it is. Oh yeah. Oh, even the name is there now. Iron Man. Yeah. Wow. I totally forgot because we just changed it. Yeah. Boom. So we got a profile. Sorry guys. I wasn't planning on doing this much profile. So, and I want to know why he's saying here Jalen. It is in the description. Description. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Text. So following customer text and following. I don't even know where's that at. Oh, description. So if we come here, oh, because the name. Yeah, if I have Shender here. Weird. Let me try. Let me look one more thing. Yeah. You see, I have a box somewhere because if I do this, yeah, and I'm gonna let you go after this because the video has been longer than what I was thinking and expecting. But I hope you have learned a lot, and yeah, that was a good, some good debugging, right? Okay, yeah. See, okay, yeah, this should be fine. Oh, because the user, yeah, we only set the user to Jalen. Instead, we don't need to set this user to Jalen anymore. Oh, this is in case, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm going to say if a user right equal to nil, right, this is empty, yeah, that's what happened. This is temporary because this won't be able to. We're gonna fetch all that from the database. All this is like dummy data, so we know what's going on. So yeah, if you do this, you do that. But now if you come from here, we already know that Jalen is Jalen, right? And then but Shander is supposed to say Shander, and Iron Man is supposed to say Iron Man. Here you go. Now we fixed that bug. I hope you learned a lot. Remember, we did here some cleanups. We did some renaming. We did some code refactoring using the for each loop. We started implementing the polls, that good stuff. If you want to add like the likes and things at the bottom will be cool. Next thing is we're gonna start integrating Firebase. So you could like go to YouTube probably and find some how to install Brew. I could probably I'll show you anyways, but I'll show you that'll save some times. Or you have a better understanding, install Brew, install Cocoa Pods, so you can take advantage of I mean, if you're going to be an iOS developer, you need to have all this in place, at least Cocoa Pods, because that's what you use to install third parties libraries, third parties such as Firebase, Stripes, what else, PayPal, and any library that you need over there. There's so many. I can't even name them, but there's a lot. So, but I just mentioned like three that I think you might know, which is Stripe was to make charge a payment. PayPal, you know what is PayPal? And what else did I say? Oh, Firebase, yeah, Firebase for database. And mm, there's some like some JSONs and some other stuff. Well, you're gonna keep learning as we go. So remember that. Remember to subscribe. Remember to like. Remember to comment. Like leave comments and hit the like button so other people could see the video and the YouTube algorithm could show it. Like, hey, show this video if you think you're adding value. If you think I should, if you want me to explain in one area or do something, let me know. I'll put it into consideration because this is all for learn. I'm doing this to learn, and I'm trying to explain things the best that I can because at one point I was in your seat and I was learning a lot of things people didn't explain it too good or I had a question and they wasn't responsive and I had to learn that on my own a lot of things and figure things out, which it was great because now I'm a great developer thanks to that. But the same way I am very grateful for a lot of people that put up content in YouTube and also I bought their own like courses, like pay money for courses, which they were super helpful. Which maybe later on you will end up doing the same thing, buying some courses out there. It was great. I think it was worth it. I paid up to like $150 for one course, but it was 100% worth it. And I bought multiple courses, so um, remember, stay programming every day. Try to have some times. Like if you don't get 2 hours every day to program and learn new things and learn how to figure out things, you won't make it to being a developer because when you have to program 8 hours a day and you don't have the habit of even spending 2 hours, it's gonna become complicated. Also remember that right now you're working on your own. You have to learn on your own. Same thing if you get a job remotely. Like I've been working remotely for like the past 3, 4 years. I don't remember, like 4 years ago. So it was way before the pandemic. But I already was used to it from college. Like beside college, I used to make a lot of projects on my own, and that's something that helped me a lot. So when I started working remote, I already know what was work. Like I have to work on my own. Like okay, I could work from home. I'm used to it. Spending 8, 10 hours a day in front of my computer doing the job, and I didn't feel bored at all because I didn't have a boss. I didn't have to go to the office. I was just on my own. So get into the habit, build the discipline that you could work, set up 2 hour minimum 2 hours a day. I used to do like 2 to 5, 6, 7 hours a day. Like I used to spend sometimes my weekends. I used to be like from morning till I went to sleep programming and all that kind of start building up my skills because there's so many things that you don't know that I don't even know. Like I don't even know 5% of the things that I need to know as a programmer because there's so many things learning, so many different strategies that I don't think nobody knows anything, not even 50%. Because we all think, I mean, we all know the basics and what to do with a bunch of different stuff, yeah. But other things that we're capable of doing, all the skills just come through learning and practicing, practicing, practicing. Okay. So be safe. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and see you next time.